Is inflation finally slowing down? A report released within the last 30 minutes shows price increases may be peaking. Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Now, this comes as President Biden says tackling inflation is his administration's top domestic priority. CBS 8's Chris Grow joining us live in Kearny Mesa now with a closer look at these numbers that just came in. Good morning to you, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, Eric, Netta. And look, we are crunching these numbers for you as you wake up this morning because they just got released. We want to let you know exactly what they mean and what experts are saying about them. Now, of course, the place that a lot of people are seeing this is the grocery store. So this is impacting everyday Americans. Now, these are the numbers. Consumer prices are up 8.3% from May of last year. Now, that's not good for anyone. However, it is below the 8.5% mark we recorded in March. That's why they're using the word peaking. They believe that we've reached the peak, but that we could be going down. Now, how quickly we see those consumer prices go down remains to be the question. That's why we don't know just yet if this is a really good sign or just simply a sign that, again, we've reached that peak, but we just don't know how quickly things will move. Now, prices only went up 0.3% from March to April, so again, that is a really slow increase, and that really has been the smallest increase in 8 months. Now, as far as how it could impact you, economic experts as well as financial experts are still stressing that it is important to save and keep a close eye on those price tags to still try to shop for the best deal, that you shouldn't try to get back to normal, so to speak. As for solutions, Washington is looking for a lot of them, but it still remains a bit of a finger-pointing battle right now between the White House and congressional Republicans.
They don't want to solve inflation by lowering your costs. They want to solve it by raising your taxes and lowering your income. I want every American to know that I'm taking inflation very seriously, and it's my top domestic priority.
They took an economy that was ready to soar, turned it around, and drove it into the ground.
And look, we have a complete write-up on these numbers up on our website right now. You can learn just a little bit more about these forecasts and where experts think that this is going. You can go to that, or you can check that out by going to CBS8.com. Eric and Netta.
All right, Chris Grow, thank you for that very latest update there. Today, the U.S. Senate will vote on a measure that would make abortion rights federal law. It's in response to a leaked Supreme Court draft opinion, which indicated the court is poised to overturn Roe versus Wade. The bill up for discussion would protect abortion access nationwide, but today's effort not expected to go far. The bill would need 60 votes to move forward, and right now Democrats control 50 seats in the Senate.
Today, the man accused of a deadly crash in the Midway district is set to answer to charges in court. This comes as the family impacted by the crash is getting some good news on their puppy who ran away from the crash scene. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol is live downtown, staying on top of those developments. Good morning.
Good morning, Eric. That crash killed 2 people out of 4 driving in a minivan, left the family absolutely devastated. We're learning more about the man who was driving in a separate car that crashed it. Police tell us he was driving drunk. That man is now sitting in jail this morning, facing aggravated vehicle manslaughter charges. Now, this all happened on Saturday night, Sports Arena Boulevard and Rosecrans Street. Police say 33-year-old Edgar Suarez Espinoza was speeding and driving drunk when he lost control of his Toyota pickup truck, hit the center median, and flew airborne into a Toyota Sienna van carrying 4 family members. 23-year-old Ahmet Alwari and 81-year-old Swad Al-Samari were in the back seat and died at the scene. The driver of that minivan survived but lost his older brother and grandmother. Of course, an extremely difficult time for this family. Now, a 6-month-old German Shepherd named Cookie was in that minivan during the crash and fled the scene. We're now just learning that puppy was reunited with the El Cajon family after he was found hiding underneath a car in the San Diego airport parking lot. The dog's owner, Abdullah Al-Lari, was overcome with emotion when seeing the dog for the first time since the night of that fatal crash. Now, as for the driver that caused the crash, Edgar Suarez Espinoza is facing 2 counts of gross vehicular manslaughter felony DUI charges and driving without a license. Suarez is being held without bail. He will be arraigned this afternoon in the Hall of Justice. So, of course, we'll continue to update you on this developing story. I'm Dana Marie McNichol coming to you live from downtown San Diego.
Dana Marie, thank you. The man accused of shooting a CHP officer is pleading both not guilty and not guilty by reason of insanity. 25-year-old Yuhao Du's attorney says that the pleas are related to prescription medication, but she did not elaborate on Du's mental health. Du is accused of attempted murder in the shooting of Officer Anthony Pacheco along the 8 freeway last month. Doctors will examine Du before he returns to court in July. And this morning, a 19-year-old accused in a road rage shooting in Chula Vista here is accused of another similar incident. Prosecutors say Giulio Repetto stabbed another man in Eastlake back in February. Yesterday, Repetto pleaded not guilty after being arrested in connection to a shooting on Olympic Parkway last week. Prosecutors say Repetto's girlfriend was the driver. She will be in court on Monday.
This morning, an Al Jazeera reporter is dead after she was shot while covering an Israeli raid in the West Bank. Here's a picture of her. There are conflicting reports about who's responsible for this. Al Jazeera says their reporter was killed by Israeli forces. Israel says she was hit by Palestinian gunfire. However, Israel promised to conduct a thorough investigation. Shireen Abu Akleh was a well-known Palestinian reporter and a dual U.S. citizen. The House just passed a nearly $40 billion aid package for money to Ukraine. If the Senate passes this bill later this week, it'll add to the $54 billion the U.S. has already committed to war efforts in Ukraine. National security officials say the war is at a stalemate right now, but told Congress they do not expect Russian President Vladimir Putin to back down.
Today, the city of San Diego will officially enter a collaboration with Tijuana to address environmental issues. This afternoon, Mayor Todd Gloria and Tijuana Mayor Montserrat Caballero will be signing a memorandum. The agreement will address things like pollution in the Tijuana River Valley and will promote cross-border collaboration.
All right, let's check in on that forecast. A chilly start to the day. Look at that. Looking good, though.
Looking good. That's the thing. That's the key part of this is that although it is chilly out there, and please bring a jacket with you walking out the door. We're at 55 in San Diego, but inland we're in the upper 30s. It is also a beautiful start to it, too. Here's a view from PB. You got a few clouds out there. Same situation looking east. That view previously was west facing. This now east facing as we wake up with this beautiful sunrise. So snap a photo of whatever you're seeing out your window right now. You can always send it to us. This is from Mount Soledad. We're going to keep waking up to views like this, and that's because as that ridge of high pressure builds, those clouds are not going to be quite as dense. So in turn, we have a few of them out there joining us, but otherwise, it's a beautiful start to the day. We're making it to 66 this afternoon. That's the expected forecast high. 69 would be the average high. So on a day like today, we would normally get to about 69, maybe 70 degrees. That means in most spots of the county will trend about 5 degrees cooler than average. Cooler temperatures continue with onshore flow today. High pressure builds and temperatures warm up into tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first day of a warm streak that really peaks on Saturday. Saturday, widespread 80s, 90s in the forecast, triple digits for the deserts. It'll be a nice and toasty end of the week as well as the start to the weekend. So expect the weekend to include the possibility of some offshore winds. Those Santa Anas could come back into play. Clear skies for the most part too. As we walk out the door right now, though, like we mentioned, a lot of 30s on the screen there. 37 for Ramona, 45 in Poway, and 50 in Del Mar. Pretty decent, significant change out there with the forecast bringing us to the 60s for the afternoon. All right, let's talk about what's going on in traffic this morning. I want to take you to this graphic right here. Speeds are in the green here, so not a lot of trouble out there. Oceanside to Encinitas, a 12-minute commute. San Ysidro to the 94, 16 minutes, a 7-minute commute from the westbound. 52, 125 to the 15. Back